Now, here's one that I particularly find intriguing and probably overlooked to a degree by most people. That is the nervous system recovery. Now, I like to do heavy deadlifts. I like to Hey gang, welcome back to Mark 60 Plus Fitness Journey. Okay, in today's episode, we're going to touch on something that I battle with quite a bit, and that is rest days. Just how important are rest days for muscle growth and strength improvement? That's what I want to talk about, so let's get right into it. All right, let's talk about rest days, and I'm going to do this from my perspective. Now, everybody's going to have a little bit different workout schedule, workout split, but there's going to have to be some rest and recovery days incorporated into a workout program. Now, for me, mine is my rest day is every sixth day right now, and I have been for about 3 or 4 months now, maybe longer, using a 5-day workout split. And if you're curious about that, I'll leave a link up in the corner, and maybe that corner, not sure, and down in the description. You can check out my 5-day workout split. But as it is right now, I have at a minimum a rest day planned every 6th day. Now, that includes, as you can see here, no resistance training, no weight training, no calisthenics, no body weight movements, just your normal day-to-day activities. But that also includes cardio. I still do cardio. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you'll know that my workout day consists of resistance training and cardio. Now, the resistance training, by definition, by at least the way I do it, is predominantly a high-intensity interval training type of thing, meaning my heart rate is up for a period of time, say a minute, 2 minutes. I let it go back down, do another set, your typical HIIT type of training. That's anaerobic activity. That's anaerobic cardio. High heart rate, bring it back down, huffing and puffing. Now, I also have an aerobic component in my workout day. And for me, that's walking. That's a low heart rate, steady heart rate, non-huffing and puffing cardio workout, generally about 45 minutes a day. So having said that, on my off days, my rest days, I still do my cardio, my walking, my aerobic portion of my workout schedule. So no resistance training, no calisthenics, no excessive cardio, no HIIT cardio, but I still do my walking. All right, so let's get to the crux of the matter here. Why are rest days so important? Well, I think we can all agree, and we probably all know, that muscle growth and strength improvements only happen when we give the body adequate time to rest and recuperate. And that does not happen in the gym. So the gym, obviously, the workouts are important. Those are the stressors that are going to generate the muscle growth and strength improvements. But we have to have time away from the workouts in the form of rest days to let that muscle growth happen and let those strength improvements happen. Now, here's one that I particularly find intriguing and probably overlooked to a degree by most people. That is the nervous system recovery. Now, I like to do heavy deadlifts. I like to do front squats. Those are two fairly demanding movements on the nervous system. As a matter of fact, the entirety of weight training and resistance training can be pretty stressful on the nervous system. Now, just pick deadlifts, for example. On a deadlift day, that's a short workout, but it's intense. Pretty low volume, but intense. But the nervous system is engaged and fired at a really high level. And you have to remember that the nervous system is every bit as important as the muscles, in that that's what fires the muscle recruitment. And the nervous system can be tired it does need some rest days. And heavy training, as it says here, significantly affects the nervous system. And the nervous system probably needs the same amount of time as muscles need between training sessions. And, you generally hear between 48 and 72 hours of recovery time for muscles. I think the same applies for the nervous system. And generally speaking, I try to keep 2 days, but after a very hard, like say deadlift session and another hard, maybe front squat session, at least 48 hours and probably 72. So the nervous system needs some recovery time. And the other thing is, you need to spend some time out in the real world. You cannot spend, I cannot spend my entire life in the gym. Even being retired, I have lots of other things, lots of other life things I like to do. And the day off is the day to do that. As a matter of fact, today is a day off. I'm recording this video. I'm having fun doing this. I'm going to record it, edit it, and get it out there. It's a life thing I enjoy doing. Perfect thing for a rest day. All right, let's talk about some other rest day considerations. Now, maintaining my diet and caloric intake on rest day. That may seem self-evident, but at least from my perspective, on a rest day, for whatever reason, I tend to consider that a rest/party day in the sense that I eat more. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, as long as we don't carry it to an extreme. As a matter of fact, I'll often include a cheat meal on my rest day, but cheat meals often morph into cheat days, and then I'm off on a whole nother precarious situation. So I'm better off if I maintain my diet and caloric intake the same every day, including my rest day. Now, timing rest days. This is another thing that's kind of an art form, but not overly complicated. It may seem self-evident, but it's a good way to plan your workout programming. I like to schedule my rest days one day prior to a planned heavier session like a deadlift or a front squat. Just so happens, today is a rest day, as I said, and tomorrow is a planned front squat session. So front squats, it's going to be a heavy muscle recruitment session, a heavy nervous system recruitment session. So I'm looking forward to going into that front squat session with today's rest day under my belt. And the other thing is that sixth day, at least in my current programming, is not etched in stone. I try to keep that sixth day, or wherever my rest day is planned, I try to hit that and not deviate from that. But if it occurs that I'm overly tired, I'm not feeling it, I'm sick, there's a lot of reasons for not doing a workout. There's a difference between feeling like you don't want to work out and then feeling like something's not going to be productive or you're sick. And, there's a fine line there, but if I feel like the workout's not going to be productive, I'm not going to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just take a day, even if it's 2 days in a row, I'll do that. It's like I said, these rest days aren't etched in stone. You can take them when you need them. And that's particularly true for us older folks because those days happen a little bit more often than they used to. All right, let's touch on a couple of other recovery/rest considerations. And this kind of gets back to what I was just talking about. Err on the side of more recovery, not more work. The rule that more is not necessarily better is a fact, I think is proven, and we are going to be better off if we err on the side of recovery as opposed to overwork. And the other thing is plan for extended rest periods. Now, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes I'll have a rest day that'll morph into 2 rest days. That's very rare, but it's happened. That's okay. Plan for those to happen. But even more important than that is plan in during the year, maybe a week off maybe 2 times a year. Look forward to your vacations as time off from the gym. You can have some active recovery on vacations, for example, walking, hiking, that type of thing. But use those week or 2 week periods as planned rest / recovery periods. And I think I mentioned this earlier. If you take off a week or 2 weeks, even, I've never done a 2 week, or I haven't in a long time, but certainly if you take a week off, you're not going to completely fall apart, disintegrate, lose all your muscle mass. Just the opposite. Probably going to get back and feel more energized. You're going to be more recovered. Your muscles are going to be ready to roll. Your nervous system is going to be ready to roll. So plan in some week or longer rest periods a couple times a year. And just a couple other things. Again, this is all from my perspective, and I'd like to hear your perspective in the comments regarding rest and recovery too, before I forget about it. But here's a couple more I want to keep in the top of my mind. Sleep. Now, I don't have any problem with this. I'm retired now, and I am a sleep professional, and it's rare when I don't get less than 8 hours of sleep. So sleep is not a problem for me, but if you don't get enough sleep, it's going to be difficult to stay at a peak performance level. And another thing I've been doing recently, in particular with my squats and deadlifts, is a hard, easy rotation. So my deadlift day, I use a progressive overload approach using 3 sets of 5 reps, and I'll do a particularly hard session, an intense session, a regular warm-up, then 3 sets of 5 reps, and it'll be a proper progressive overload deadlift session. The next session, I'll do a lighter one. I'll do lower weight, maybe as much volume, maybe a little bit more volume, but definitely less intense and lower weight. And I'll alternate hard, easy, back and forth. Same with my front squat session. And that works pretty well. I have to tell you, that's I think that's helped me progress in my deadlift in particular, and my front squat for that matter. So a hard, easy rotation. And you can't forget, I mentioned progressive overload. Now, progressive overload is, like I said, I use the simple 3 sets of 5 reps and at a given weight. And once I'm able to do 3 sets of 5 reps successfully, I move up 5 pounds. Well, needless to say, at some point, you're going to plateau. And when you get to that plateau, just accept it and realize that here's an opportunity to deload, reload, and start over again. And what I normally do is take 10 to 20% off the weight that I plateaued at and start over again. And if everything goes according to plan, once you do that and start progressing back up again, you'll pass the plateau point you were at, 5 or 10 pounds, hopefully. And once you reach another plateau, stop, deload, reload all over again and start anew. Now, again, those are all from my perspective. That's the way I look at rest / recovery. And a lot of that stuff may seem self-evident and intuitive, but I have to remind myself that the rest is every bit as important. It is a vital component in workout programming. You will not progress, you will not build muscle, you will not get stronger unless you incorporate rest days. And I have to emphasize that to myself all the time. And it does work. Again, as I said earlier, I'd like to hear your perspectives on rest days, how often you take rest days, how you plan the rest days in, and how effective they are for you. I'd love to hear about your workout programming in regards to rest days. And before I forget, I'd like to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day, for hanging out with me today. As I say all the time, I really appreciate it. And again, if you do me the favor of hitting that like button, hitting that notification bell so you know when my videos are coming out, share this with your friends. And if you haven't already, please consider clicking that subscribe button. We're growing slowly but surely. Still a small group, small but dedicated, cool group of people here. And we'd love to have you here, and you're cordially invited. So hit that subscribe button right now before you close the video out. And I guess with that, I'll say, till next time, go get 'em. Mark out.